everyone. My name is Ken Masson. I am the co-president of the Rotary Club of World Disability Advocacy. We are a club that was formed about 4 years ago, and we're now in over 30 different countries around the world. We have members, over 70 members, and our focus is on the human rights for people with disabilities around the world. We do advocacy work for that. And today we have with us one of our fellow Rotarians who's taking on the project, a huge project of developing inclusive education summit, which we're going to have in October. So Sonia, welcome Sonia, Rotarian Sonia.
Thank you so much for having me in this interview. My name is Sonia Rajibans. I'm from Kenya, Africa. Very proud of that. So I am basically an education consultant, but at heart I'm a Montessorian. I believe that Montessori is more than just a curriculum. I believe it is an answer to many of the questions that I know Ken has on board for me today. So I work as a coach for teachers. I train teachers on differentiated learning, on team working, on grouping and thematic learning. I help with the national curriculum development, assessment developments nationally. I do consultations locally, nationally, and globally on various aspects of inclusive education. I also build learning teaching materials for children with disabilities, specifically blind and deaf children. And I love working for my community. I do everything that I can in order to create awareness about what we do in the Rotary Club through various networks. And at the same time, I am the national head of education in Kenya for the Sikh Council of Kenya. So community work is very much part and parcel of my daily life.
How did you get yourself in the education field? What was your interest there?
It's so interesting. I was actually a sales executive for 10 years. And so I worked up the ranks. I got to the executive position. And suddenly I realized I don't want to be the person behind the phone, always negotiating prices, looking for market intelligence, creating unnecessary shortages and, all those dramas that go on. I really felt it wasn't something I could see myself doing for the next 20 years of my life. So one day I walked home and I told my husband, I said, you know what? I'm going into the teaching field. This is my passion. This is what I love doing. I rather babysit children than to babysit adults. And he said, you know what? Do what makes you happy, because every day you come home, you're so frustrated. The corporate world is not your thing. Let's just keep it as that. And then, so a friend introduced me to Montessori. I didn't want to do the typical training in education, and I never have actually. I stuck to my diploma in Montessori, and that's what I have built myself from. I believe that when you've had a spiritual experience in your education, you just grow with it, and it grows with you. So that's how I got into education.
So now we're looking at inclusive education. What is your interest there? And what can you first of all give us a little feeling? What is inclusive education?
So inclusive education is actually, as I said, to Montessorians, it's not a new concept because Maria Montessori was very keen on inclusivity at her time as well. So to me, inclusivity means acceptance above all, including everyone regardless of their race, of their backgrounds, abilities and disabilities, because we don't see any disability inclusivity. We see a different ability. So my interest in inclusive education is being able to create an ecosystem for all the stakeholders where we all can thrive. Because a child, a learner in an inclusive education will only thrive when the people around the child are also thriving. So for me, inclusivity includes all the stakeholders um, in that ecosystem. They are heard. They have a place they can call home. They feel involved. They feel encouraged, and above all, they feel satisfied with what they're doing. So for me, inclusivity is a lot more than just education.